Hey, good morning. Welcome to Off the Mat. I'm your host, Laurie Andriacchio, and we're here to help you create the life of your dreams, holistic style. So that means addressing the complete you, spiritually, physically, and emotionally. And my expert guests will come in and share not only their amazing stories of how they're rocking their lives, but also they're going to offer you some tools and techniques that you can use today to help you create the life of your dreams. So today, I'm so honored to have with me Karin Otto. She is, in a word, amazing. It's hard to do it in a word. But a yoga instructor, a wedding officiant. She's going to help you find the truth and positivity, find your voice, find your authentic self. And so thank you so much for joining us today.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, Karin was one of my first yoga instructors.
How long ago was that?
That was a good 15 years, I want to say.
Probably.
So I'm so grateful every day for what I learned, and I'm still learning from Karin. And so thank you again.
Again, thank you so much for having me. Yeah, we have a long history together, but we also have mutual teachers. My teacher, Eric Schiffman, is someone that you've studied with as well.
Eric.
So, you know, I've been in this business for kind of a long time, and the one amazing thing is that we can just grow within it, that we're supposed to be learning as we're teaching.
Sure.
And so I feel like what I enjoy doing is sharing whatever I'm currently learning and exploring with whomever I'm meant to be with. So this is kind of a funny way to do it. I don't usually do it on camera without my yoga pants on. So it feels a little strange, but exciting. And so I'm happy to just talk and share whatever you want to talk about.
Awesome. Well, let's start out. We're going to shift things up a little bit and start out with our new little Bob Ross bowl of wit and wisdom and happy accidents. So for those of you who don't know Bob Ross, he's the painter that was on PBS and full of wit and wisdom. You know, life happens, things, and it's kind of very similar to what we learn and what we teach in yoga and taking things off the mat. And then extra special added bonus is we have these little notes of Bob Ross quotes in a love note bowl created by our mutual friend Hollis Gross-Citron, and she creates these beautiful bowls out of clay, and then these little love notes inside. So what better vessel to put this in? So I'm going to have Karin pick a saying.
Okay.
And we're just going to see what happens.
Exercising the imagination, experimenting with talents, being creative. These things to me are truly the windows to your soul. I love it. So first I just want to say hello to Hollis because she's amazing, and thank you for doing this. This is so fun. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of what we do when we teach, is we draw upon our experiences and we find creative ways to present them and help others to find that within themselves. I was thinking before I came here how perfect it is that I'm coming on Valentine's Day because I feel like everything I do, whether it's teaching yoga or parenting or being a good friend or helping to officiate wedding ceremonies, which is something that I also do, that whatever I'm doing, it's about love. It's about finding creative ways and rituals in order to promote loving connections on the planet. I used to joke that I should have been a doctor. Like I should have had some other.
You kind
like,
of are.
I should have had some like profession where like, you know, I've got some status. Like I would question that sometimes. Like, am I doing enough to help others in the world? And you know, all the time I'm meeting people and talking with people and knowing that all of these moments of connection are so valuable.
They are.
And it's, I think, so important in the world today more than ever that we create these experiences of loving connection with one another. So it's a cool thing. They are windows to your soul. Well, of course, you know, that's what we are. We are love. So
it just gets fogged up sometimes.
Right.
Sometimes you need a little help from a yoga instructor or for, you know, from anyone, just to help kind of dust off, clear it up, and, you know, to help you realize that you are love.
That's right.
So,
well, there was always this amazing story that Eric told, Eric Schiffman would tell about, you know, we're standing in front of this window that looks like dirty or foggy, and there's someone on the other side of it, and looking through a dirty window and seeing that shadow of something, it scares us.
Sure.
And so we always have this choice to either approach a situation from love or fear. And so when the window is foggy, when we can't see clearly, then of course what's on the other side of it is going to look like a scary, shadowy figure. But if we start to clean off the window and we look, then what is on the other side? It could be, you know, your loved one. It could be, you know, whatever you consider to be God or Buddha or Jesus or whatever. When we're clear, we see the reflection of something that's actually very beautiful, and it's who we are.
Right.
So, yeah, what we do in yoga is we work with our body, we work with our breath as a way to clear both physically and mentally and emotionally, to heal some trauma and obstacles that get in the way, and to see beyond, you know, our egos, the way we identify with how we think we should be or how things should be, rather than how they are.
Sure.
And we have these moments of seeing clearly, even if it's just for a flash, we get to see what's true, that looking through that window, and it's not fear there, it's love right in that moment.
Right, even if it's not so comfortable, it's still love.
Yeah.
You know. So do you have a favorite or a go-to practice personally that you use to clear? And
I feel like my practice has changed a lot and evolved over the years. And even every day I do lots of different things, I think. Currently, I do a lot of different yoga movement and breath practices. I practice a version of Ashtanga yoga. I do lots of yin yoga. And the style of yoga that I'm teaching right now, if you could call it a style, comes from a teacher by the name of Johnny Kest out of Michigan. And he developed this type of vinyasa class where you are given so much freedom to listen to your inner teacher. The classes themselves are these flowing dance-like explorations. So there's the card, like the creativity and the imagination starts to come through.
Because I know a yoga class can be very intimidating for someone who hasn't practiced. And am I doing it right? And what's supposed to happen? And how am I supposed to look and feel?
Yeah, and we emphasize so much about there's no right or wrong in terms of how it should look from the outside. If you're starting to feel more, if your breath is moving, if you are feeling like you're expressing yourself, then you're on the right track and you're practicing yoga. And I think as a culture, and Eric talks about this as well, he went kind of a different route into that freedom, away from these outer constructs of an alignment base, like this is how it has to be. Eric developed what's called freedom style yoga, and he takes it in a slightly different direction, but the philosophy is the same, that ultimately our role is to help each person find their inner teacher, start to develop a sense of self-trust. And
it's like an art. I mean, it's any type of art that you learn the scales, you learn how to mix the paint, you do the exercises. the muscle repetitions and things, just to learn what you're doing from a teacher, and then you start to make it your own, whether it's music, dance, anything creative.
And my daughter is starting to play the piano now. We got a piano this year. And she has a piano teacher that comes, and he teaches her, she plays scales, and she learns the notes and the right hand placement and all of that. But when I listen to her practice, when she's just by herself, she always spends some time just jamming. And
that's where
she makes up her own songs all the time. She's just like trying things out, and it's so beautiful and I just listen. I don't get involved.
Right.
She doesn't even like when I say, hey, that was great, because she just wants to
it's her thing.
be in her world.
Yeah.
And I feel like as a teacher, I'm learning to do the same thing. I don't stand in front of the class anymore and say, this is what you need to look like.
Sure.
I'm within the class. I'm dancing and singing and breathing with them, and it's just a beautiful experience, and I'm so grateful I get to do it every day.
I'm grateful you get to do it too. Really am. Yeah, it's like no other experience that you've had. I mean, you definitely intertwine your own personal experience, and it's not, I think a lot of misperception too is that an instructor is above everything. And it's not about not having the ebb and flow of life. It's about and not just handling it, but gracefully riding the waves. So, and what you're teaching is
I never felt like that. Like I never felt comfortable feeling like, what am I doing up here in front of everyone? You know, like I wanted to ride those waves with them, rather than just be up in front. And I think there's a lot of us these days that feel like we have to create this platform. Before the show we were speaking a little bit about this, that we feel like we have to have some big message, something that we have to sell. We have to brand ourselves.
Right.
And maybe that's a westernization. I've never felt that never spoke to me. It always made me feel even more separate.
Right.
And I want to feel more and more of a joining. That's what yoga is about, to join, to unite. So this idea that I had to present myself and sell my yoga and find my niche, and that all just felt a little bit like a struggle to me. And so I just try to just teach from my heart. Like that just, I can't do it any other way.
I mean, there's no one way, and you have to do the way that works for you, and it's working because your tribe is gathered around you, and so
I'm so fortunate to find others. There's so many amazing teachers that I know, that I'm close with, and students that they are my teachers, and I'm just so grateful that we get to practice together.
This is a good place to pause, and we're going to take a pause. And
that went fast.
Yes. Don't go too far. We're coming back, and maybe I can convince Karin to give us a little tidbit of something we can do to clear off a little bit of that glass.
A little practice.
Okay,
sure.
So we'll be right back.
When I needed to create a better visitor experience.
Improve our workflow.
Attract new customers. That's when Fast Signs recommended Fleet Graphics.
Yeah, now business is rolling in. Get started at fastsigns.com.
What do I want to be when I grow up? Maybe a musician? A veterinarian? Maybe an equestrian? A mommy? Well, why not be all these things and more? Consider joining me, Dr. V, with friends and colleagues as we explore a wide range of topics together. V is for variety, here on RVN TV.
There you go, Richard. Oh! Is that too hard for you?
No. Is it too hard for you?
Woo! We're playing catch now. Oh, shit.
should you choose Rowan College at Gloucester County? Low cost, the #1 nursing program in all of New Jersey. More than 70 programs of study, including selective admissions. With record enrollment. A premier partnership with Rowan University. Transfer options with numerous universities. 4-year degree options on our campus. Rowan College at Gloucester County. Now you're thinking.
We are back. Welcome back to Off the Mat. I'm Laurie, talking with Karin Otto. Excuse me. Hello again, Karin.
Hi.
So, yeah, we were just talking about, how we are love, and sometimes things get a little hazy, and you need help dusting or clearing off the fog or the dust. And Karin is going to offer us something to help.
Sure. So Laurie asked me to lead a little meditation, and we're taping on Valentine's Day, but love is something that it's not about a holiday. It's really this practice that we can do every single day.
It's funny. I was thinking about, I used to get annoyed with Valentine's Day, if you have to be reminded to tell me,
Yeah.
But then I was like, well, you know what? How awesome is it? There's never too much love. So if you need a reminder to send some more love out, it's awesome. So,
yeah. So we'll do a little meditation that is focused on that. You can find a comfortable seat position, and if you like, you can close your eyes, or you can just look half down so that you have an internal focus. And when you do that, you might become aware of your body a little bit more and your breath. And if you let yourself just take a pause from your thinking for even just a moment, you might be able to soften. I think it's nice to be able to talk about love, but in order to do that, we need to be able to recognize when loving is difficult to do. So maybe even just noticing if there's any tenderness or hardness around your heart today. If you're struggling or sad or angry. And again, just pausing to feel whatever is there. Take a few breaths in and out of your nose. Love is not some red, pink, pretty heart. Love is the willingness to see what is actually here. Love is the willingness to open up. So spend just a few more moments focusing on your breath, and letting yourself soften. And being open to whatever this life, this love is offering you today. And then we gently place a hand right on the center of our chest, very gently, as a reminder that we do this through our bodies. And that we never do it alone. We send this out to all beings everywhere. Closing with hands together, palm to palm, and a little bow to our heart. So simple.
So simple, yes. So yeah, those small breaks throughout the day definitely do help clear.
I did a a workshop once to new parents in this moms group that I was in years ago. And, there were moms there with children on their hip and, diaper bags full and stressed and sleep deprived. And I said, you can do just like a quick, fast 3-second meditation. You just soften your body and take one conscious breath and just drop into your heart. And even in that one moment, you can shift things. And you can have your 1 second of yoga, even if you don't have any time to get to a yoga class.
You know what? That's,
And I watched those moms just, and as they did that, their kids started to feel different. The whole room started to feel different. It really only takes one moment. But it also takes consistent practice. So,
sure. And for those times you can't get to that big yoga practice or whatever you practice, because it's not the only thing you can do, but taking those, whatever you learn into your life, take it off the mat.
Yeah, and breathe into however you are, wherever you are, to hold space for that.
Yeah.
So what I really feel like I do with everything that I do, whether it's teaching yoga, I also, I'm so grateful to be able to help people get married. That's
that's another
my latest gig, and I'd love to plug that a little bit. I work for a company called Ceremony Officiants, and we help people. We create their ceremony, and we hold space for them. We stand with them, and it's just such a fun job. And
talk about being love.
It really is, and it's one of the most important moments. And it's not just about the romance of love, it's really about the celebration of life. Just recently I had a couple, these two beautiful women that I married last summer, and they sent me an email and they showed me the picture of their baby, their new baby, and asked me if I would be willing to, do a baby blessing for them. And so it's just amazing to me to be a part of this journey for people. And then the other job that I get to do is that I help to teach people to be yoga teachers. Now teaching in Johnny Kest's style of yoga at Lifetime Athletic in Mount Laurel. We do 200-hour yoga certifications, and so much more than becoming a teacher, I get to help people really find their inner voice and their inner teacher. And again, I'm just holding space. I'm standing with them, I'm practicing with them, and it's just an amazing thing to be a part of that journey too.
Yeah, the cool thing, one of the cool things about yoga teacher training is it isn't just prepping you to teach, it's prepping you to be you. And you explore and dive down into all those spaces and shadows and hopefully clear some up, and then it allows you to be more of who you are.
Absolutely.
And then you, like you said earlier, that you just share with somebody else. I always thought the more I learned, the more I felt like, ooh, there's so much out there. But then you just share what you're doing and what your experience is with someone else.
I mean, could you imagine how amazing it would be if more and more people were willing to do that, to go inside themselves and hold space for whatever their experience actually is, recognize that there's so much that they don't know, and still be inspired to be, a light in the world. It would be amazing. So that's why I just want to create that for more and more people.
And you are, yeah. So if you're around, how does your YTT program, is it, how is it, the hours? How is that dispersed?
So at Lifetime there are actually 3 programs every year. We're about to start a program for the winter to spring, so it's a 3-month program in the winter, spring, and then there's a 3-month program again in the fall that'll start in September. We also do a summer immersion that is throughout the whole summer, but we compact it into 3 weeks: 1 week in June, 1 week in July, and 1 week, full week, 7 days.
So even if you're not local, that's doable for maybe somebody to relocate for a little bit.
Yeah, you can stay with me. It's fine. Camp out at my house.
Very cool. So, wow. Can you let us know where to find all these?
Yeah, at the end I think we're going to put up the website addresses for, it'll be my own web site, which has information about my class schedule and just ways to reach me personally. I also do private yoga, and happy to mentor teachers or in whatever way I can serve. That's truly been my mantra. It's like, well, what way am I meant to serve, and so I'm open. So you can find my website. You can also, there will be information about the Life Power Yoga website where you can check out our yoga teacher training programs. If you ever want to just come and take a class with me at Lifetime, you can message me. You can find me on social media. And then there's also a link to the ceremony officiants, where if you or someone you know is getting married, you can find me there to be there for your ceremony.
And you definitely are, creating those positive messages. I mean, we talked earlier about, the ego and letting that go, how that gets in the way of things, and just being loving and helpful.
I'm still, still working on it all the time.
Yeah, well, we all are, but you are doing it as you were working on it. So again, I am so grateful for that.
Thank you for giving me an opportunity to come on and be with you, and thanks for all the gifts that you bring to the world as a teacher and creating this forum for it. You're definitely what our dear friend Flossie would call a light worker.
Another shout out to Flossie. Yes, definite, a mutual teacher and friend of ours. Thank you. Thank you. So we're not going to quite pause here because we're going to pick another message from the wit and wisdom of Bob Rospel.
Why don't you pick this one?
Okay, sure. So, we spend so much of our life looking, but never seeing. So appropriate.
What does that mean to you?
So, this actually leads me to something that we share too, the saying, I see you, I love you, of course, comes to me. And for all you Avatar fans out there, that's their greeting, I see you.
Oh, is it?
You say, I see you. And again, another Eric Schiffman pearl of wisdom. But it's just, and it's what namaste means. When you hear namaste, I see you. So
Eric says if we are willing, that love truly is the willingness to see what is true, which is kind of what that meditation is, to see what is actually here. And it actually naturally arises out of this willingness to see with your heart. And when you are willing to see someone, then you feel love. So the I love you part just kind of naturally comes out of the seeing. When I was doing my teacher training with him in California, I was staying in Santa Monica, and I'd ride my bike along the beach path from Santa Monica to Venice, which is where the studio was. It was like about a half an hour every morning. And he gave us a homework assignment and said, every person that you see, just inside, just mentally say, I see you. That's all you have to do. And I was riding my bike, and every single person I would see, I would just kind of, say that. And it was amazing because I felt so much love, and they magically, I wasn't saying anything out loud, you could see them kind of like spark up, like they were feeling love.
Which is a good place to, go out and try this. Seriously, go try this, do this, especially if someone's being difficult. See if, you can see the love in them.
Or just see them as they are. You don't have to love them. You don't have to agree with them. But just be willing to see from your heart.
Yeah. Awesome.
See what happens.
That's a wonderful place to pause. We're going to end it here and begin it. So take that homework assignment out there, and whoever you see today, see them. So I see you and I love you. I see you and I love you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Go out and create that life of your dreams. Peace.